I don't know, guys. I'm starting to feel these videos. This might be the new wave we on. Alright, let's get dilations real quick. I ain't gonna lie, this ain't about to be real quick. Let me stop playing with y'all. Dilations. By now, you should have been through 2 days of just dealing with similar figures. You should feel comfortable now. If you don't, you ain't been doing what you're supposed to do while Mr. Bronson been gone. But that's alright. I'm gonna tighten you up when we get back. But dilations. It's pretty straightforward, and I spoke to you about this before. A dilation is considered a transformation. It's the only one we didn't learn in the transformation unit. Remember, in the transformation unit, we learned the reflection, the translation, and rotation. It's the only one we didn't talk about because this transformation is different than the other ones. In all the other ones, the shape stayed the same size. In this one, the dilation, your shape shrinks and it enlarges. If you look at this one here, got the original shape, our pre-image, I should remember that. It shrunk down to this one, the image. So this dilation right here was a reduction, what we call a reduction. Got two types of dilations we're going to do. We're going to either do an enlargement or a reduction. Alright. The scale factor, which you should already know from the previous set of notes. If you haven't, then you need to go back and look at the previous set of notes before you look at these, don't you? Scale factor indicates how much the figure will enlarge or reduce. A variable for a scale factor is going to be K. We usually just write it something simple like K equals, and then we'll tell you the scale factor. So when K, that variable, is less than 1, anything less than 1, the scale factor, the dilation is a reduction. Anything less than 1, then the dilation will get smaller. And it's really between 1 and 0, because that's what the number is going to be between. You won't have any negative numbers. It'll be in between anything less than 1, like between 1 and 0. It's going to be a reduction. So any little fraction that's a regular fraction, not an improper one, but any regular fraction where the numerator is smaller than your denominator, you're going to have a reduction. When K, the scale factor, is greater than 1, you should already figure out the dilation is an enlargement. It means it's going to get bigger. If I multiply anything by something greater than 1, even if it's just 1.5, 1.5 is larger than 1, so my image has to get bigger. It should. Alright, symbolic form. You may see it written like this sometime. It'll be a T there. It'll just say, it's basically saying translate, but instead of giving a translation, it's going to say K times X, your scale factor times X, and then your scale factor K times Y. Or you may see it like this with a D, saying dilation, and then K. Possible ways you can see it. More than likely, you're just going to say K equals, and we're going to give you a scale factor, and we're going to ride out from there. So, alright, here we go. Let's do it. First one. We only got 4 of these, so hopefully I can fly through these quicker, man. Hopefully this set of notes won't take me a whole full 30 minutes. But you know me. Sometimes I get to going. Graph the label. Graph and label each figure and its image under the given dilation. So number 1, we're going to dilate that one. Triangle RST with vertices R, -5 and 1, S, -3 and 4, T, 2 and -1. And if you see, my scale factor is K equals 2. So the first thing you should ask yourself is this going to be an enlargement or a reduction? This is a number greater than 1. It's going to be an enlargement. Alright? This image should get bigger. And so they didn't tell me specifically either. Well, they don't have to. They're just telling me to do an enlargement of this image, and they don't give me a point, so I'm going from 0, 0. This enlargement is happening from 0, 0. Alright? You'll see on the back when we get there, when we do some of our dilations, they're going to be from a point not at the origin. It's going to be similar to what we did with those rotations when we had to do the rotations that weren't at the origin. It'll look familiar when we get there. I don't want to jump ahead of myself, though. Let's handle this first. Let's handle the easy stuff. So these are my original points here. You need to graph that. I'm going to go off and graph and I'll come back. Graph it on your own. You should know how to graph. Look at my original points right here, RST. I'm going to connect them real quick. Make this triangle. And then we're going to enlarge it by a scale factor of 2. Alright, we're going to enlarge this triangle by a scale factor of 2. To do that, this open space that I got down here, I'm going to write my original points in there, but I'm going to leave some space in between those original points too. Watch the space that I created in between because I want to write something in there. So my original R was at -5. I'm going to leave some space here, comma, and then my other point was 1. Leave some more space, comma, parentheses. Then my S is at -3. Leave some space, comma, 4. Leave some more space. And my original T was at 2. Let me put a comma there. Let me put a comma here. And then what's that? -1. Alright. Leave some space. The reason I'm leaving space, I had a scale factor up here. Whenever you have a scale factor, it's not hard to use it. All you're doing with the scale factor is multiplying it. You increasing this figure or decreasing it. So I'm gonna multiply by 2. Everything down here is gonna get hit times 2, times 2, times 2, times 2, times 2, times 2. It's just that easy, you know. Now you just got to do simple math. This is what some of y'all gonna get choked up at, though. I'm gonna do this in blue. So -5 times 2, obviously -10. And 1 times 2, 2. -6. Then you got +8, my bad. Then you got 4. And then you got -1 times 2, which is -2. Easy work. This is, honestly, y'all, if you get a 1 around the origin, this is all you got to do. Multiply, you're done. Put it on the graph. Make sure you put your primes on there. You know I'm going to mark it wrong if you don't. So -10 up to, it's my new R prime here. And then -6 up, 8. Where you look down? S prime. And then T is at +4, -2 here, T prime. And then connect, this should look like an enlargement. If you did it right, it should look like an enlargement twice the size of the regular one. If you didn't, you know, it is what it is. You suck. Alright. So that's an enlargement there. Then after that, moving over to our next one. If you look at this one, well, let me go let y'all stare at it for a second. Sorry. This is the figure. My coordinates down here. And there we go. Next one, triangle WXY with vertices W, X, and Y. Scale factor is 1/4. 1/4. Numerator is smaller than my denominator. This is a reduction. It's going to be a reduction. So you understand your image should get smaller if you're doing this right. If not, then you're doing something wrong. Graph my original, my pre-image. Do that quickly, please. -4, 8. And 10, 0 over here. Original image is going to be big, but that makes sense. It's going to be a reduction anyway. The Y is -2, -8. My points. That's my original image. Now I'm about to do a reduction. Now, this is 1/4. We're still multiplying our points by this. It's multiplying by a fraction, 1/4. Y'all should know how to multiply by a fraction. That's easy. When you multiply, you just your number multiply by the top number and divide by the bottom. Should be simple. I'll walk you through it though, since y'all act like y'all don't know nothing. Down here at the bottom, write my points, leaving space. So W was at -4, space, 8, space. X was at 10, space, 0, space. And then Y was at -2, space, -8, space. Come back in, everything get hit with a 1 times 1/4, times 1/4, times 1/4, times 1/4, times 1/4, times 1/4. Should be straight up for you after that. There's -4 times 1, -4 divided by 4. That's going to be -1. Hope you're okay with that math. 8 times 1, 8 divided by 4, 2. 10 times 1, 10 divided by 4. And it's okay to get decimals on here because you're going to need a decimal when you're graphing anyway. You will get decimals too. Don't be scared. 10 divided by 4, you're going to get 2.5. Don't ever give me your scale factor as a decimal though. It doesn't need to be in fraction form. But if you're getting a point for the graph, that can be in decimal form. 0 times 1/4, 0. -2 times 1 divided by 4. It's going to be -0.5. You do it in the calculator. Because it's barely -1/2, and -1/2 is -0.5. So don't be slow about this. -8 times 1, -8 divided by 4, -2. Then from there, graphing my new points. You got some halves there, but you can still deal with it. You should be able to figure out where the halves go, or count half a line. So the first one's at -1, 2. That's W prime for me. -1 up 2. W prime is here. The next one is at 2.50. So this one over 1, 2, 0.5, stay at 0. Right there in the middle. This is going to be 2.50 for me. It's going to be my x, so x prime. And then the next one, follow me. Next one is negative 0.5 and 2, negative 2. So negative 0.5 right here, then down 2. 1, 2. Here is going to be my point. Negative 0.5, 2. And it's going to be y prime. Now, so it's my image after the reduction of 1/4. It shrunk down to 1/4 of the size. I graphed it as that. This is how you do it. These are my new coordinates. Boom. Now these are easy when it's going from 0, 0. And one thing I didn't tell you, but something to teach you right now before I go on. So when you're enlarging a figure, like we did the first one, your image is going to just move further away from 0, 0. See, I kind of stretched out away from 0, 0 this direction, and that direction. Kind of stretches its way out from 0, 0. Same thing on this one, except for it was in a reduction, so it got closer, it came back closer to 0, 0. My image points was here, here, and here, and as we reduced it, it came closer to 0, 0 each way. Each way it started bringing its way back close to 0, 0. That's because we were doing enlargements and reductions around the point 0, 0. On the back, you're going to do it around the point that they pick for you. These are dilations not about the origin. It's from another center of point, and they're going to pick it for us. But you've done something similar to this before, so it should be straight up. It shouldn't be that hard for you. I don't even think I'm going to do no examples after this on the practice. I'm going to let you ride. Y'all will be all right. Oh, I think that is one I'm going to do. Maybe two. Damn. Y'all lucky. All right. Step 1, find the vertical and horizontal distance from your center point and to one of the coordinate points of the pre-image. Multiply the vertical and horizontal distance k times the scale factor. Oh, based on your scale factor, excuse me. Then count that many units from the center vertically and horizontal. Repeat steps 1 and 2 for the leftover points. That's a lot of little gibberish there to just tell you that we're going to do the same thing we've done before. We're going to use that center they give us as our new center, and we're just going to kind of just get our points from there and do a regular, I guess, enlargement or reduction. But we're going to treat that as our center to help us get the points, and then at the end we're going to write down our actual points. So it's easier to show you than to just sit here and tell you, because telling you is just me doing a bunch of talking. You know, I ain't with that. Let me show you what's up. Alright, so on this one, what's that bleeding through? I'm going to have to get another one. You know what, screw it, we good. On this one you have the math, which is 4, 2, so 4 up 2, and then you have 0, 4 here, And you have -2 up 2. And you have 2, 0, which is here. So it's going to spell out math for us, M-A-S-T-H, M-A-T-H. I don't know what I just spelled. Alright, that's your figure. After that, they tell me my center rotation is at 2 up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. I said center of rotation, my bad. This is my center of dilation. That's here. So if that's the case, this is where I'm going to do my dilation from this center. I'm going to treat this as a center too, just like we did when we did rotation stuff. I'm going to treat this as my new axis. I'm going to count my points from here, all that good stuff. On my new 0, 0 for now. So I'm going to treat this as 0, 0. We're going to run it from there. Treating it as 0, 0, I'm going to have to rewrite my points based on that point right there. So down here at the bottom, so you understand what you're looking at, above what you're about to write this. Write points from new center. Okay, and I head to this open area, which is what we're going to do. So M is at, from my new center, my M, let's look at that. M would be from this center, back like this is your center. M would be over 2, so that's positive 2, down 3. Be 2, negative 3. So that's the coordinate I'm going to write. 2, leave a space. Not too big of one, though, because we need to write out to the side of this 2. Negative 3. And then close the parentheses. Leave some space out to the side here, though. All right. And then I'm going to go get my next one. A is at, from this center, it's at negative 2, negative 1. You should be following me. We've done this before. Negative 1. And then T is at negative 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, negative 1, 2, 3. So negative 4, negative 3. T is at negative 4, negative 3. And then my last one, H, some people already found it, is at 0, negative 5. 0, comma, negative 5. That's going to be my H. Alright. And from there, I need to multiply. My scale factor was 3. Scale factor was 3, so we put in 3 on everything. This is an enlargement, so times 3, 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 times 3. Now, I hope you didn't go ahead of me, because what you need to understand, when we get these numbers, these are not going to be our actual coordinates. Remember, these are going to be what our coordinates are going to be from here, from this 0, 0. To get our actuals, after we graph our image, we got to go back and write these down. So these are the ones that we multiply, we're going to put right out here in this open area. So these are not going to be our actuals right here. This is going to be the M prime for that center. So don't write nothing over here yet. It's not your final answer. 2 times 3, 6. Negative 3 times 3, negative 9. And then you got A prime, which is negative 6. And then negative 3 if you do the multiplication. Then T prime is at negative 12, and negative 9. H prime is at 0, and negative 15. Alright? Then from there, we're taking these points and going from this center this new center we got and graphing those points from this center. And once we do that, then we can read off our where our points are actually at. So from this center, this purple center, I'm going 6, -9, and graphing a point. All right. So from the new center, I'm going to the right 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. She'll land here. It's going to be M prime for me. Then from there, A is -6, 3. I'm looking at my coordinates down here. -6, -3, excuse me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Down 1, 2, 3. It's going to be my new A. It's going to be A prime for me. And then T is going to be, or T prime, -12, -9. So from there, go over -12. I'm going to cheat a little bit. I know this is 10 this way and it's 2, so -12 all the way out here. And then down 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's going to be T prime. H prime is 0, -15. So this will be my 0 down 15. This is 5 this way and it's 10 more here. So 15 is going to be way down here. And it's going to be H prime. Alright. And then I can box that. If you did it correctly, it should look like an enlargement. It should look like it's moving away from that center that we had, which was 2, 5. Because it's getting bigger. The bigger it gets, the farther it moves away from the center, your center. Once you get it, you see the enlargement. Then after that, you want to put your actual points over here. So we're going to call these my actuals now because they are my actuals. Read your actual points and listen to me. Read your actual points from 0, 0 at the end. We've done this before. Don't freak out. We just did it with rotation. Same situation. You didn't even spend your paper this time. So from 0, 0, now I'm going to just read my actual points. Where is M actually at? M is at 8, -4. From 0, 0, where's A actually at? It's actually at -4, 2. And then T, that's going to be at -10, -4. And then H prime is at 2, -10. All right. All right, and then after that, we're going to do number 4. So you should have all your points. Number 4, this is on the scale factor 1/2, so we're going to do a reduction. Graph the image, and let's do it. You ain't got to wait on me if you feel like you know what you're doing. Ride out, go ahead. So 10, 10. 10, 10, A, B is 5, 8. C is at -6, -2, C, and D is at 1, -7. After that, put your center of rotation in. They say it's at P, which is 3, -4. 3 down, 1, 2, 3, 4 here. That's center of rotation. Then a rotation. I said it again. Center dilation. This is where we're dilating from. Center dilation there. So we're gonna dilate from that point. Let's move it. So point from new center. Just so you understand that we're doing this from the new center. Doing it out here. And grabbing our points. A is going to be at 7 space 14 parentheses. B is going to be at 2 comma 12. All is from the center. I'm just counting from the center. From the center is over 2 up 12. Alright. From the center of the rotation. Dilation. And then C, that's going to be -9 and +2. C is going to be -9 comma +2. And then the last one, D, is going to be -2, -3. And then hit them with your scale factor. Scale factor is 1/2, so times 1/2, times 1/2, times 1/2, times 1/2, times 1/2, times 1/2, and times 1/2. Alright. You're going to get some decimals here. It's going to be alright, though. So 7 times 1/2, that's going to give you, and remember, don't put your points over here. These are not our actual points, just the points from where the center is. A prime as 3.5. And then 14 times 1/2 is going to give you 7. It's 14 times 1 divided by 2. Once again, don't overcomplicate this. You're going to hurt your heads. B prime, 2 times 1 divided by 2 is going to be 1. 12 times 1 divided by 2 is 6. C prime, -9 divided by 2. That's going to be -4.5. It's a decimal. And then 2 divided by 2 is going to be 1. And then this one, -2 times 1 divided by 2, -1. And then you're going to have -1.5 for your last piece. I wrote an extra comma there. And from there, put your points on from that center. Start with A, go over. So you're going over 1, 2, 3.5 up 7. Count up the line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Gonna land about right here. That's gonna be A prime. Next one is gonna be at 1, 6 from this point. Over 1 up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So right here, call that B prime. Next one's gonna be -4.5, comma 1. -4.5, comma 1. 1, 2, 3, 4.5 up 1 here. C prime. And then D prime is going to be at -1 negative 1.5. Negative 1 down 1.5. Alright, it's going to be D prime. And connect your points. And there you go. This is my dilation of that image. Then from there, get your actual point slash actuals. So find my actual A prime from 0, 0, the original 0, 0, is going to be at over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 0.5, and then up 1, 2, 3. So over 6.5, up 3. B prime is going to be at 4, 2. C prime is going to be at negative 1.5, down 1, 2, 3. So negative 1.5, negative 3. And the last one, D, from 0, 0, is going to be to the right of 0, 0, 1, 2. It's going to be down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5. So 2, negative 5.5. And there it is. So that took longer than I thought because, you know, it's kind of hands-on with the 2 on the back. But it's nothing that y'all can't handle. I went through the whole thing. I don't even think I need to go over any on the sheet for you. What I will say for you, though, on the practice sheet, looking at number 2 here, I kind of set it up for you. Shouldn't even show you the whole thing, but whatever, I don't care. This right here, 5 over 2, this is an enlargement. Don't think because it's a fraction, it's a reduction. This is an enlargement because your numerator is bigger than your denominator. This figure is going to get bigger. This is my original here, and this was my end result up here. So I'm supposed to show you that one, but I don't want to waste no more of your time. I can kind of just give you a glimpse of what it looked like. You need to be able to set that up, though. All right. All right. Good luck on that. Do your thing. Don't be scared of those decimals. Handle them. That's the last set of notes I got for you for this week. So after this, you just need to do the practice work and all that I got set out for you guys. And I'll see you when I get back. Have a good rest of the week. Behave yourselves. Like I said, I don't want no bad reports, y'all. So make sure you handle your business. If you don't get this stuff the first time, come back and rewatch the video. I know it's long, it is what it is. Go back to the parts you don't, that you really don't understand. I'm sure you got caught some of it the first time you took notes. Go back and watch some more of the video. It's out there for you, you know. All right, I'll catch y'all later. Peace.